Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Gemini. So Gemini, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Gemini, you have a very interesting message coming through today, and it has to do with you being stopped on your tracks, or being faced with a person or an opportunity that really makes you shift the way that you see reality, or that you see your place in this 3D plane. Because I feel like the way that you have been doing things is in a very solitary manner. It's like either very solitary, as in like choosing solitude, choosing to be take care of yourself, take care of your needs. It's like going inside, but there's also like this how do I say, need to protect yourself from the harshness of life, or perhaps like others. And the way that this is coming through might be very specific, but it's almost like protecting yourself from people and not wanting to engage. So always, keeping people at a distance in a sense. And this opportunity that comes, it's like it is going to be extremely abundant in terms of giving you an experience of something that will really change the way that you see life from then on. Because so far, as I said, it's been like you in your head a little bit. It's like you very, I don't want to say close-minded, because that's not really how I'm seeing you, but in a sense, maybe you're feeling older than you really are, and that's the opportunity that is going to show you that you can, it's interesting, I'm hearing reclaim your innocence. Yeah, it just has to do with a workshop that I'm doing with Paul Selig and the guides, that is called Reclaiming Innocence. And I feel like this is exactly what is going on here for you. It's like you too, Gemini, need to reclaim your innocence, because the patterns in your mind that have been guiding your path until now, it's like they are very stuck in their own ways in a sense, or they are too fearful, or they are too weighed down with cultural values, with your family's demands, your own. And I want to say, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's focusing on you. It doesn't have to do much with perhaps like the image that you want to convey to others. Is more as like this maybe internal responsibility that you have towards the world, or like, I'm going to start showing you the cards, because otherwise I'll just be rambling here without the cards. So we start off with the 10 of Pentacles. So as soon as this card jumped out, I had a very strange feeling about this card. It's almost like, is it too good to be true? It's like, and this is me as you thinking a lot, because you're coming here as the King of Swords. So in terms of thinking process, it's like you're very aware, you're hyper aware, to the point that everything out of the norm, everything that makes you stop on your tracks, right? Because usually I see the 10s as a shared path. But the interesting thing about this shared path is that is new. For you, this has never been an option, and I'm going to explain why. So here we have the 10 of Pentacles. Here we have you as the King of Swords. And then after you, there are 2 nines expressing the solitary path, the individual path that you have chosen, or you have taken throughout your life, I want to say. Because to me, usually the 10s and the 9s talk about the path of life, right? So this is, you know, because of the 2 pentacles in the middle, it's supposed to be a shared path. But I feel like this is new. It's almost like you didn't expect that you would get this opportunity. You didn't expect that you would get to meet somebody at this stage of your life, perhaps, because it's like with the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. I mean, in traditional tarot, both of these 9s are the harshest, right? Are the heaviest, are the ones that cause the most pain, the most worry, the most stress. And I feel like maybe this is a reason why you feel like you have to be hyper aware all the time, right? It's like incorporating this King of Swords. It's almost like you're choosing to be extra thoughtful, extra attentive in every single step that you take, especially the moments where things seem to be flowing very good, very abundantly, very unexpectedly, very enriching, right? And in every sense of the word enriching, and that is coming through the next card also that I'm going to show you. But it seems to be a very incredible opportunity for you. And it's interesting because I don't really know if this is in terms of your personal life or if this is in terms of your professional outer world life, right? Or if this is more like an internal thing. These 2 9s, I feel like they are the symbol for the outer reflection of your internal choice. It's almost like, and maybe this is like, how do I want to say this? It's like the combination of hyper awareness and unconsciousness. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, wanting to become completely aware even of the things that you know that you are unconscious of. So, and that might be the reason why you have been carrying a heavy load for quite some time. It's like the weight on your shoulders of your own responsibility of knowing what you don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. It's like creating creating a path where you don't want to be disturbed by anyone else's like opinions or problems, or like it's like wanting to deal with your own issues, with your own troubles, because they are already heavy enough. And having people in your life, at least, you know, knowing you in maybe a more intimate kind of way, it's like that doesn't make sense to you. At least it doesn't make sense until now, right? Because I feel like this opportunity, or whatever this 1 pentacle that is crossing your way, that is, you know, in front of you and making you stop on your tracks, because either it's creating a block, it's creating whatever it is, it's creating a situation, it's not coming through as a block, but in a sense, perhaps because this is so different from everything that you have been experiencing so far, right? It's almost like you have been carrying the responsibility of your entire life over your shoulders, but carrying it, thinking and interpreting it as a heavy load, right? And no matter how heavy this was, you kept on going, right? It's like you knew that this way you would be free to go, in a sense, right? It's like, yes, it wasn't easy. Yes, it might have been hard, but there was nobody really standing in front of you and saying you cannot do this, right? But now it seems like there might be somebody offering something or some kind of opportunity, whether it is work related, whether it is in your personal life, Gemini. But I feel like, you know, and it could be both, the way that I'm seeing this, because the Empress card is coming next, and here we have maybe the material aspect of this abundance, but here the enriching path that is opening up for you. It's like, it's interesting because in the Aries reading, this card came through with a message of it's abundant either way. Whatever option you choose, right? Because I feel like you don't get to choose much. It's like simply you have this person or this opportunity in front of you, Gemini, that seems, it's like the trouble with this, the issue with this is that your hyper awareness of a mind that has been following your own footsteps without others' inputs, or like you know, how do I express this? It's like with a certain pattern in your mind that if you do this on your own, no matter how hard it is, the path ahead will always be open for you, right? Even if it is harsh, but you will always have this free pass in a sense. So here, when somebody stops you on your tracks, it could feel like something's wrong with it, right? Something's wrong with the person, something's wrong with the opportunity, but it's in your mind, because really it's abundant either way. It's like, because the way that I'm seeing this, it's like you're here standing in this threshold in a sense, or in this crossroads, and you could choose either side. And either one of these options, I want to say, they feel abundant, right? The first card is already very abundant. It's just your mindset that perhaps have been so solitary, or so thinking or focusing only on you, that you didn't see this coming. So this really makes you stop and makes you rethink about everything that you have been doing so far, and actually how you want to move forward, right? Because if you're being presented with a choice and it's going to be abundant either way, it's putting you in this kind of, you know, back to your innocent self. This is how the Page of Swords is coming through. I feel like, Gemini, you have been living your life so far thinking that you need to step up to the maturity level, to the responsibility level of the King of Swords, thinking that you need to decide things, to move on your own, right? Relying upon yourself, no matter how hard it is or how heavy it is, right? But it's almost like okay, so what I'm hearing now, it's like the heaviness of the path was informing how mature you thought you were, right? So it's almost like the heavier it got, the more you were patting yourself on the back saying, yes, this is exactly my responsibility, right? It's like taking that on you in a sense, and being, maybe being proud of it, right? Not arrogant, but just proud of, like, yes, that is exactly what is showing me that I am on the right path in a sense. And then when out of the blue, because that's how I'm seeing this Ten of Pentacles, it's out of the blue. It's like you didn't expect that, you know, something good could come, right? Perhaps. And it is what is coming, and it's, you know, the abundance, the enrichment of this offer, of this opportunity, of this person entering your life is taking you back to a moment where maybe you chose, right? It's like maybe it goes back to when you were a child, that your mind has been set for you to believe, in a sense, that this solitary path was the right one, that was going to prove to you that you were mature, that you were responsible and accountable. You were taking accountability for your own life, right? For your own issues, for your own problems, right? Dealing with your own stuff in a very mature way, right? So whatever is happening now, whatever is coming to you, and I feel like it's it's kind of like a crossing of paths, because it's almost like there is no way but to bump into this opportunity, but to be face to face with the situation, with this person, right? Whatever it is for you. So knowing that this choice is going to be abundant either way, it gives you this kind of like it's removing the weight, right? It's like taking over your shoulders whatever you thought that was your responsibility, and perhaps it's like the responsibility of maybe knowing it all. And it's interesting because this was also in the Taurus reading, right? You don't have to know it all, and perhaps you were taking everything on your back because you thought that you needed to know it all. But this opportunity that is coming for you is exactly showing you that you don't. It's okay to be completely innocent and not have everything figured out, right? It's like, because that's exactly what you're going to create. It's like it's creating something new, that it's not following the same pattern or the same mindset. It's actually being created because of the newness of this encounter, of this opportunity, because we're ending here with the Three of Pentacles. And so the threes, to me, they're all about co-creation. So co-creation, it's not creation, right? Co-creation is when you create with another. But if you were still stuck in this mind frame that is very solitary, that is, it's almost like self-sufficient, right? That's the right word. It's like you always thought that the best way that could prove to you that you are a mature being, that you are evolving, that you have turned into like a very responsible grown-up, right? It's like your adulthood is taken care of because you're minding your own business, you're taking care of your own troubles. It's like you're carrying the heaviest load, so you can prove in a sense to yourself, and most of all to your mind, that this is the track, the right track that you're on, until this comes your way and something changes. That something changes because it's like the enrichment of this mindset, right? It's like it doesn't need to be heavy, it doesn't need to be stressful, it doesn't need to worry you in any type of way, right? It's almost like you can go back to this innocent self of yours where you were carefree in a sense, but it's like it's not carefree as in naive. It's like there is this distinction between the innocence and the naivety. It's like you are reclaiming the part of yourself that is the purest, right? It's like it's not, your brain is not contaminated by the experiences that have taught you, in a sense, that following this solitary pattern was the right way to go. I hope it makes sense. So this innocence that you're reclaiming, it's like going back to, it's like undoing that patterns that made you believe that this was what your life was meant to be, right? Maybe a lonely path that you are carrying all the load on your shoulders, right? So it can be shared, and that's what the Ten of Pentacles and this Empress is talking about, right? It can be beautiful because the beauty is coming through this Empress, right? Is emphasizing the beauty of the path. It doesn't have to be like one that you cannot see the beauty, right? Because to me, the Nine of Wands, sometimes it comes through as a path of flowers, but it's almost like the flowers haven't yet bloomed. So you have to be like courageous enough to keep on moving forward, knowing that with every step that you take is helping to bloom each flower on this path, right? So in other words, it's like the ability to endure is helping to see the beauty in the path despite the challenges. And I feel like perhaps with the Nine of Swords, you weren't allowing yourself to see the beauty in your own path, right? Because it's like maybe you thought that you were meant to suffer, that you were meant to feel the pain, you were meant to be lonely for your entire life. But that's not the case, and that's what is changing here. It's like you're becoming aware of the beauty, because the beauty can only be seen by your innocent self, right? And when you see the beauty with those innocent eyes, it's like you're taking the heavy load out of your shoulders. It's like you're literally like unpacking everything that was maybe preconceived or maybe learned, right, through this path. And so the Three of Pentacles ending here, this part of your reading, is talking about this opportunity or this person or this situation that is coming up ahead for you, that is literally stopping you in your tracks and making you rethink your way of making decisions, or maybe your perception of the world, and maybe your relationship to others, right? And maybe how protective you were, or how distant you were keeping yourself from others, right? Until this comes your way and is inevitable. I want to say it's like it's an opportunity that it's enriching. As I said, it's enriching for you, for yourself, right? So that you can see the beauty again, but it can only be done when you are not following that mindset, right? It's almost like you're in automatic pilot in a sense with the nines, right? Thinking that that is the most mature thing, but there is something to be co-created that can only be done if this is done together with others. If this is not, and I want to emphasize, with another person, because it's like pentacles, right? So it's something that needs to be co-created here through matter, through the 3D plane. So yes, perhaps it's a situation that could be, being presented by another person, and maybe you are suspicious or skeptical about the person, about the situation, about whatever conditions come attached to it, the strings attached, but it's beautiful, right? I want to say it's interesting because with the Three of Pentacles, I feel like this is like the potential to create something new, to co-create something new, but also something beautiful. And I feel like the beauty is key here for you, Gemini. Perhaps you haven't allowed yourself to let beauty in. And moving forward, the way that your innocent self is allowing you to see the path ahead is actually a beautiful one, with a co-creation that happens thanks to this opportunity, right? So as I said, whatever it is, it's like whether this is professional or personal or family related, it's like it's you letting beauty in through letting this person in, right? And bringing this abundance, and like reframing your mind for you to be able to see the abundance, right? So Gemini, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.